Hi, hello, namaste, my dear all aspirants. Welcome to the problem solving session of network theory. So, my dear friends, I sincerely appeal you to watch all these series. So, definitely this is going to help you a lot for various competitive examinations. So, let's see the questions here. So, let's solve each and every question very clearly. So, here is the question. Please read out the question here. While Thevenizing a circuit, Thevenin's voltage equals to. This is a theory question here. So he's simply asking that when we are applying Thevenin's theorem to the given circuit, what happened here? The Thevenin's voltage means what? How you are going to find out the Thevenin's voltage? So my dear friends, see, if you have a network, for example, if you have a network, so with the load terminals here X and Y, and if the load resistance is connected between X and Y, and when you are going to, for example, if you are interested to find the current flowing through the load resistance R, so what we need to do here, if you want to apply, see, if we want to apply Thevenin's theorem to this one, first of all, what we are doing means we are obtaining Thevenin's equivalent circuit. So what is the Thevenin's equivalent circuit? Thevenin's equivalent circuit consists of a Thevenin's voltage source in series with Thevenin's resistance, provided the terminals here. So this is RTH. So these are the terminals here, X and YH. This is nothing but, see, excluding the load resistance. So when we are applying Thevenin's theorem, excluding the load resistance, the whole network would be represented by Thevenin's equivalent circuit, which consists of Thevenin's voltage source in series with Thevenin's resistance. That's it here. Then here, if you want to find Thevenin's equivalent resistance, see, what is the procedure to find Thevenin's equivalent? To find RTH, the method is there. To find RTH, remove load resistance. Actually, if you want to find RTH, we need to remove the load resistance. Afterwards, we need to deactivate the sources. Deactivating source means if voltage source is present, you just short circuit it. If current source is present, you just open circuit it. So while finding Thevenin's equivalent resistance, what we are doing? We are removing the load resistance. Afterwards, we are deactivating all the independent sources that are present in the network here. So if it is a voltage source, you just short circuit it. If it is a current source, you just open circuit it, right? Afterwards, you just find the equivalent resistance between the open terminals. So find R equivalent between open terminals. Find R equivalent between open terminals. That is RTH. That is that. That equivalent resistance is nothing but RTH. Then what is VTH, my friends? How can we find VTH? Okay, to find VTH, just, my friend, just you open the circuit here. Just to remove the load resistance. Remove RL. If you remove load resistance, the load terminals would be open. Then you find the voltage across that open terminals. Sir, find voltage across open terminals. For example, my friends, here, if I give this circuit here, for example, see here, my friends, here, my friends, R1, R2, R3, assume here this is RL. What we will do here? To find RTH, what we need to do here? We need to remove the load resistance. Then we will get this circuit. After removal of the, this is voltage source value V here. After removal of the load resistance, R1, here this is R2 and R3 as well. After removing the load resistance, these terminals would be open here. Then you find the voltage across this open terminals, which is nothing but VTH. This is nothing but voltage. So my friends, while Theveninizing a circuit between two terminals, Thevenin's voltage equals net voltage available in the circuit, no EMF of the battery nearest to the terminals, no open circuit terminal voltage, it's option 3 here. Option 3 is the right answer for this question. Clear? Let's see the next question here. Find the voltage across 2 ohm resistor in the following figure. It's a very simple question, my friends. Here it's a direct question. See, my friends. Okay, find the voltage across this one here. Directly you apply KVL, my friends. If you apply KVL, so this is the given circuit, right here. This is the given circuit, a single loop here. Plus minus 12 volts, 1 ohm, 2 ohm. So find the voltage across 2 ohm resistor, 2 ohm resistor. So what is current in this? I is equal to V by R, 12 by 1 plus 2, which means here 12 by 3, which means here 4 amperes, 4 amperes. So 4 amperes flowing, and we need to find voltage here. Voltage, so V naught is equal to, current flowing through is I into 1. Voltage across 2 ohm resistors, voltage across 2 ohm resistor we need to find here. Then here, I'm finding your voltage across 2 ohm resistors. So V naught is equal to, current flowing through it is I into 2. So current is here 4 here. 4 amperes, 4 into 2, it's 8 volts. It's 8 volt. Where is it? So option 3 is the right answer. Clear? Determine the Norton's current between the terminals A and B for the circuit shown in figure. Norton's current we need to find. So my friends, given circuit clearly 50 volts, right? It's 3 ohms. It's 3 ohms. My friends, this 4 ohms. The load terminals are A and B, already open here. The load resistance terminals are A and B here. Norton, so between terminals A and B, we need to find just Norton's current only. Norton's current means here, you just short circuit the terminals here. You just short circuit. This is IN here. This is IN. But it's pretty clear. Whenever a resistor is in parallel with a short circuit, here the current delivered by this source, the current delivered by this source entirely will flow through this short circuit only. No current will enter this path. Then in that case, the circuit will be like this. Then simply the circuit will be like this: 50 volts. This is a 3 ohms. Then this is what IN. What is IN, my friends? Norton's current. IN is equal to, it's 50 by 3. 50 by 3 means it's what? 16 by 16.67, 6666 something here, means here 16.7 amperes. 16.7 amperes. So option 1 is the right answer. Clear? Read the following statement. Superposition theorem is valid only for linear circuit. Option statement A. Statement B is superposition theorem is valid for non-linear, only for non-linear circuits. Choose the correct answer. My friends, it's a very simple question. Superposition theorem is strictly applicable to linear circuits only. So by using superposition theorem, we can find out the currents through the branches or voltage across the elements, but we cannot find the powers because power is non-linear element, right? So my friends, and the relation between voltage and current, if it is considered passive circuit here, the voltage and current relationship is linear, right? This superposition theorem is particularly applied to, applicable to linear circuits only. So this is in the statement of, my friends, in the statement of superposition theorem itself, the term is included here. In a linear circuit consisting of multiple sources, right? The response in a branch, maybe current or voltage, is equal to the sum of the individual responses provided here, considering one source acting alone. So that is the statement of superposition theorem. So superposition theorem is strictly applicable to linear circuits only. Linear circuit only. Option A is the right answer. Friends, find the current through 1 ohm resistor as shown in figure. So this is actually with a simple circuit here. By using CDR, means current division principle, current division principle here. You use current division principle, otherwise directly here, what happen here? No need to use even current division rule also. This voltage source is directly connected this voltage source is directly connected in parallel with these two resistors. Then what about the voltage? What about the voltage across this 2 ohm resistor? Means here it is V only here, V only. Anyhow, here this voltage is not mentioned, so we will apply current division rule. We will apply current division rule. So my friends, here this is the circuit here. This is the circuit here. This 2 ampere, 2 ampere. This 1 ohm, 2 ohm, and we need to find current through 1 ohm. So this we need I naught. I naught is equal to by CDR, means current division rule. Current division rule. The total current entering the junction is 2 amperes. 2 into. When you are finding the current through 1 ohm resistor, then you need to put opposite branch resistor in the numerator. So it is 2 here, 2. So here I naught is equal to the total current entering the junction is equal to 2 into opposite branch resistor. Resistance 2 by sum of these two resistors, 1 plus 2. So 2 into 2 by 3. 2 into 2 by 3. It means here 4 by 3. 4 by 3 amperes. Actually here I would like to give the expressions here, my friends. So if the total current entering the junction is I, and if these two are resistors R1 and R2, and if the current flowing through the resistor R1 is I1 and current through the resistor R2 is I2 here, by current division rule, what is I1 here? I1 is equal to the total current. I1 is equal to the total current entering the junction is I into R2 by R1 plus R2. As I told you, when you are finding the current through R1, then you need to put R2 in the numerator. So similarly here, what is the expression for I2 here? I2 is equal to net current entering the junction I into. So when you are finding current through R2, then we'll put R1 in the numerator. So R1 by R1 plus R2. So these are the expressions by using current division rule. Anyhow, here the current flowing through 2 ohm resistor is what here? The current flowing through 1 ohm resistor. The current flowing through 1 ohm resistor is here 4 by 3 amperes, which is nothing but 1.33 ampere. Clear? Right. So let's see the next question. My friends, here, what is the value of the resistor R for maximum power dissipation in 3 ohm resistor? My dear friends, here clearly this is the given circuit. 3 volts here. This 6 ohms. My friends, here 3 ohms. So he mentioned 3 ohms, please consider this is the RL is equal to 3 ohms, and here this is R here, this is R. My friends, this comes under here. See, for max completely RS, the equivalent resistance of this parallel section is RS here. For maximum power transfer, load resistance must be equal to source resistance. When load resistance is equal to Thevenin's equivalent resistance, or when load resistance is equal to source resistance, then only maximum power will be delivered to the load. So RL we know here, but what is RS, my friends? RS is a parallel combination of, clearly RS is parallel combination of 6 ohms and as well as R here, which is equal to 6 into R by 6 plus R. Okay, here RL is nothing but 3 is equal to 6R by 6 plus R, my friends. If you simplify this one, 6 into 3, 18. 18 plus 3R equal to 6R. You shift this 3R to right side. 18 is equal to 6R minus 3R. 3R. R is equal to 18 by 3. 3 1 ja, 3 6 ja, means 6 ohms. R is equal to 6 ohms, which means, my friends, if you give a value of 6 ohms to R, what happens, you know here, then 6 parallel with 6 here, it becomes 3 here, 3, my friends, then RL becomes equal to RS, then what happen, you know, maximum power will be dissipated in 3 ohm resistor. So here, without doing also, we can easily predict. See, if you put, see, for what value of R, this will be equal to 3 means here, exactly 6 parallel with 6 means 3 only, right? 3 only. So anyhow, option 3 is the right answer. My friends, read out the following statements. Practical current source is usually represented by a resistance in parallel with ideal current source. Practical voltage source is usually represented by a resistance in parallel with ideal voltage source. Actually here, yes, see, man. If we generally voltage source is always represented in series with its equivalent resistance here. This is a voltage source. Means this voltage source, representation of voltage source. But current source is always represented a practical current source in parallel with its equivalent. Means practical current source is always represented by ideal current source in parallel with its resistance. Its resistance means internal resistance. So RSH, this is IS current source. So this is the representation for voltage source. This is representation current source. So here, practical current source is usually represented by resistance in parallel with ideal current source. That's correct. This correct only. This correct statement A correct. Practical voltage source is usually represented by a resistance in parallel with. No, this is a wrong statement here. So statement A only correct here. Statement A only correct. So option 4 is the right answer. Option 4 is the right answer. My name is here. My friends, consider the following statements for Norton's theorem. Short the branch resistance through which current is to be calculated. Yes, in case of, my friends, in case of Norton's theorem, in case of, for example, here, my friends, if it is the network, and if you want to find the current through this one, so what we will do here? For finding Norton's currents, what we are doing here? We are just removing the load resistance and we are just shorting that load terminals and we are finding the current here. This is Norton's current. So short the branch, yes, short the branch resistance through the which current is to be calculated. So right one. Obtain the current to the short circuited branch. Yes, short circuit branch using any of the network simplification techniques. This is also correct. Develop Norton's equivalent circuit by connecting current source with resistance R in series with it. No, Norton's equivalent circuit actually here. Norton's. If you see Norton's equivalent circuit consists of, my dear friends, Norton's equivalent circuit consists of Norton's current in parallel with Norton's resistance, net resistance, provided with the load terminals, right? Load terminals. So, but in statement 3, just mentioned that Norton's equivalent circuit is having current source IN in series with RN. So, this is a wrong statement. This is a wrong statement. So, here statement 1 and 2 are correct. Statement 1 and 2 are. So, statement 3 is the right answer. Statement 3 is the right answer. So, my dear friends here, right? So, see here, Thevenin's equivalent circuit consists of current source and series impedance. Yes. What's there here? Thevenin's equivalent circuit, we know pretty well. Thevenin's equivalent circuit. Thevenin's equivalent circuit consists of simply Thevenin's voltage source. So, this is what here? Thevenin's voltage source. Thevenin's voltage source in series with Thevenin's resistance between the load terminals. My dear friends here. So Thevenin's equivalent circuit consists of current source and series impedance. No. Right, means voltage source and series impedance. Yes, voltage source and series impedance. This one. Voltage source and shunt impedance. No, current source and shunt impedance. No. So option 2 is the right answer. That's it here. In the next video, we'll discuss the remaining questions. Till then, take care and bye.